Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of Bitcoin, taking a look at what's been going on most recently and what we would expect to happen next. Now as I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so you will be able to be kept up to date with all the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. You can always unsubscribe later, and if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, guys, check it out. Linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. So why not go ahead and check it out? Let's jump right down into this video though and talk a little bit around what's been going on with Bitcoin. So as we can see here, yesterday's video, we're talking about a bearish setup. We did push up just a fraction further before we actually started to pull on down. Again, nothing terribly too unusual here, and we are within our structure. We're going to go through that structure just to keep everyone up to speed with what is going on here when it comes to BTC. We'll just add another arrow just up here for today's video, and I'll add the thumbnail whenever I get that made. But you know, we can see that we've been talking about the unnatural move to the upside, the 30k, the come down, the liquidity grabbing, and of course, you know, the expectation that we are now going to be heading down towards $25,000, and we saw that rejection yesterday on that weekly close position as well. Let's go over into our Elliott Wave theory to start with, okay? And so there's three key areas that we were talking about. 30,036, that's our first kind of break of a structure, which is this one to the downside over here. Okay, anything above this area does break this with structure to the downside, okay? At least at the third level here. Then there's 30,485, okay? That is this swing high here, okay? And that would also break the idea that we're in this wave 2 structure, okay? So if we were to come up higher than 30,485, then we are going to break our structure for this wave 3, taking us down deeper. And then of course we have our high, current local high at 31,000. And again, if we were to come up higher than that, it would break our bearish structure. Okay, so there's kind of three levels to this thing. Okay, we need to consider and kind of understand from an Elliott Wave theory point of view. We're in a bearish situation, and you know, we can start breaking that bearish position if we were to cross some of these key levels. Okay, we would change the structure that Bitcoin finds itself in. Now we had the bulls tried, they failed yesterday to try to push the price up higher than 30,036. And what we can do is we can see that there's a major level of resistance right in here. Okay, this is definitely an area of supply. Okay, it's not a coincidence that we've tapped into this area 3 times and have been rejected all 3 times. Okay, so this range, just for clarity, is 29,721 to 29,978. Okay, so this is the area where we're finding ourselves with some severe selling pressure. Okay, now we started to move down from this area. We kind of got into a pretty significant downward movement, and we can see that we are now starting to look at this structure and starting to think about what is going on within it. Okay, do we have ourselves a diagonal over here? This is our wave 2 potentially. Sorry, it can't be a diagonal here. It's more of a 1, 2, 3 kind of situation, an A, B, C. So from our lows, we'd kind of have to look at it like this. Stunted the C out a little bit. We could also look at this area with a micro movement right inside here as well, just like so. So there's nothing terribly too unusual going on. We do see this move to the downside as an expected move. We had 5 wave over this side. This could be a wave 1 of a wave 3 within our wave 3. So if I were to try to make that make sense for people who are not familiar, we'd have a wave 2 up here. And all of this could be a wave 3, 4, and 5, of course, which would have to be playing its part within our final 5-wave structure, something to this effect, within our third wave. And this inside here, if I bring this back down, would have to be a wave 1, for example, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we would be finishing a wave 1 of a wave 3 of a wave 3, which could be a part of a wave 3 actually, yeah. So we can see how this thing's kind of nest on in. Now I don't want to make this overly complicated, but just get an idea as to how we're going to be structuring this thing out. We are heading down, in my opinion, towards the 24,864, which is our 1.618 target range for making this an impulsive structure. Doesn't have to do this, it's just what I would expect to happen considering this 5-wave structure here and how we failed to cross the higher than 30,036, breaking that structure. So I'm still looking and still targeting out for $24,864, simply because that seems to be where logically we should be heading based on these structured patterns. Now, following on from yesterday, as I was saying, if we were to short this market, now would not necessarily be the best position to do it. But yesterday we were talking about shorting the market and how we'd go about and approach the markets in doing so. And essentially we were talking about we could go market entry where we were. We'd put our stop loss above our swing high, which would have been 30,036, or if we wanted to be extra safe, put it above here at 30,485. And then we would target out a new local low. And again, we were talking about coming down to this area as a minimum expectation, and we get a really good risk reward ratio of 3.45. And you can see that had we done this yesterday, which I did not, but I know that our community members in the Discord that did short the market, that we almost got liquidated, or would have almost got liquidated. And the idea of coming out of the positions and repositioning and all that kind of stuff. But in reality, if you stuck to your plan and you have good risk management, good stop loss in place, and you just follow the data and you follow the structure, you're in some pretty significant profit. Okay, but again, you've got to keep the emotions out of it. We can also see here on the 50 and 200 EMAs, and we are below both of those. So on the hourly chart, looking pretty bearish from that kind of point of view. Now, as we come on up into our smart money concepts, we can see institutional candle. This been right here, basically bringing in this low. This basically means that there was an imbalance in the order books. Right here, someone placed a large sell order, and they were unable to fill it until it got to here, and essentially it creates this imbalance in the order books. We can see that we kind of finished off a little structure inside here. To me, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so it looks like a wave 3 is potentially done. We will come up into a wave 4 and down into a wave 5. This will get filled out in my opinion. You can see equilibrium is right up here. We have broken the structure. I'll talk more about that in a second. And so my expectations are that we do come and fill this gap out before we continue down. Okay, so like I said, this could be a wave 1 situation. Now, if we were to go and use the fib tools on this, he says, if I can actually get that to anchor on, there we go. We would have to kind of consider ourselves, just short of that 1.618 at the moment. But I don't think we're done yet. And so the reason I say I don't think that we're finished with this structured move to the downside is I think we've had a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and a wave 5. So the 4 and 5 is still to come, but we'll see how that kind of plays out. I still see this as a couple of different ways of kind of looking at it. We've either got a kind of wave, it's a really tight wave 1 up here, and a really weird wave 3, followed by a wave 4 and 5 already complete. Either way, it's minor stuff at the moment. If we have already kind of bottomed out, my expectations are to move up towards the equilibrium, which is 50%, all the way through to 88.2. Again, getting another lower high set at the top there, but we'll be looking between 29,097 and 29,761, and that would basically make this a wave 1 up here into a wave 2, filling out that imbalance in the order books, that fair value gap, getting the equilibrium, and a wave 3, 4, and 5 still to come. Okay, and again, taking us down to that $24,000 level that we're just spoken about. Now, let's take a look at what's going on with our structure. So, what's happened here? Well, we had a change of characterization up here. Okay, we got confirmation of that bearish change right here. Okay, we never broke this structure, and we did push on up. We've pulled back down. We've pushed back up. And most recently, we've got another break of structure to the downside. So ultimately, we're still in this bearish structure. We're unable to break out of this bearish structure from a smart money concepts point of view, and it still remains very much active. Okay, so bulls failed to kind of push us up higher, and as such, our structure is still, and confirming it's still, in a bearish state of play. On our hourly chart here, we can see we have a strong high, weak low. So again, we're still expecting further downside. We have our internal order blocks at the top here for selling, and there is very little buying pressure by the looks of it here on BTC. So yeah, by all stretches of the imagination, it looks like a reversal. It looks like a move to the downside is inevitable, but we do not move in straight lines, and we have to kind of appreciate the fact that we will have to move up before we can move on down. So do expect some extreme volatility, and do expect to see some interesting things over the next kind of 5-7 or so days, where we start to see some pretty big slippage in BTC's price, in my humble opinion. I'm going to leave the video right there. If you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I'd appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, guys, check it out, linked in the description down below. Until the next one though, have a fantastic day.
We are not financial advisors, and none of what we have communicated verbally or in writing here should be considered as financial advice. It is not. Do your own research before investing in any digital asset or affiliate offers, and understand that investing in any crypto is risky. If you do, you need to be prepared to lose your entire investment. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. All our videos are strictly personal opinions. Please make sure you do your own research and never take our opinions for financial guidance. There are multiple strategies, and not all strategies fit all people. Our videos are not financial advice.